Hey guys, welcome to another episode here in SD Performance Coaching. My name is Sean DeVarens, owner and founder. Today, quick announcement. There is a change to my name. We call it Performance Now instead of Fitness. I'm going to go over through the details next week to explain the reason behind that. But I felt that there is a necessary change to the name because a lot of the training, a lot of the focus that I present to the clients that I have is very performance enhancement based. On the other flip side here, today's episode in SD Education, I want to go over with you guys how important following your tempo scheme is for your training regimen. So you guys have had coaches before that talked about, following the tempo. You got to follow the tempo. And sometimes you might not understand what that is, or you might not understand the implication of what it is to follow like a 2-0-2 tempo scheme. So I'm going to break it down for you guys today. So we know that when we perform an exercise, there's a concentric portion of it, there is an isometric portion of it, very quick one, depending on what the goal is of the exercise, and then there's an eccentric portion to the exercise. Now, if we take, for example, the bicep curl, which is kind of an easier exercise to break down, the concentric portion happens as you bring the weight up. Now here, the pause, usually you have 0 seconds. The typical scheme for tempo is 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, meaning there's 0 seconds for the pause here, okay? So as you come up, you're coming back down for 2 seconds. Now, oftentimes what happens here is and I've already dealt with this with a few clients of mine that I have as athletes, we believe that most of the work is being done as we bring something up. It's hard to bring something up than letting it go down. Well, in terms of muscle development and hypertrophy and even strength, much of the work is being done actually when your muscles is lengthening against the external force that is occurring here in a bicep curl. So the thing is eccentric load is going to do a lot more work. It's going to benefit a lot more to your training than actually concentric work. And oftentimes I see the focus where we're trying really hard to bring the weight up, and then we don't focus on controlling the weight as it's coming down. We just kind of let it go down as fast as we can. And this is where you really, really need to emphasize the control here, because you're going to get a lot more out of your results if you directly focus on how you're controlling the eccentric portion. Don't get me wrong, the concentric portion is important. You have to have the power to move a weight all the way up in a proper way. But if you concentrate on controlling your descent down from the weight, then that's going to benefit you much more than if you're just going up and doing as many reps as you can or as fast as you can, okay? Now, I have 2 videos here for you guys. One of them is going to be a client of mine doing as many pull-ups as he can, and the other one is going to be me doing the pull-ups following tempo scheme. So let's look at the differences. Good. Yeah. All right. So as you guys might have spotted, obviously I've been going a bit slower than what my client previously did. So 2 things happening here. One, I am controlling my entire body as I go down. I'm not using momentum from the exercise going up and down. This is a very strict pull-up, which means that I am emphasizing the strength gains that I'm trying to accomplish through this exercise, okay? The second thing here is this. If you notice my client doing pull-ups really quick, you're going to realize that he's not going to the end of the range of motion. What I mean by that is he's not going all the way down as he does a pull-up. Now guys, you shouldn't be doing these kind of shortcuts. If your goal is to do strength or to gain strength, to gain hypertrophy in your training, don't try to cut corners. Utilize as your entirety of the range of motion of the joints that you're focusing on in your exercise. So in this case, the pull-ups, you want to emphasize the entirety of the range of motion going all the way down and all the way back. Let's not forget that the lats, guys, insert right here, attached right around where the armpit is and the humerus, okay? And they go all the way down across here, all the way down to your back and your lower spine. So if you're only going up to here, then you have all of this range of motion that you're missing out on working. So it's important to emphasize like the range of motion is extremely important in every exercise that you do. The second thing here is you're not given enough time under tension as you're doing the exercises. So that means that while it might seem a lot more effort doing it as fast as you can for 10 reps, what your mind perceives as work it's the exact opposite of what your muscles might perceive for work. So we need to understand that the tempo scheme is extremely important, and there's a reason why we put it out there, because scientifically it's found to be the most efficient when you're training for strength and hypertrophy. So the 202 is extremely evident that is most beneficial when you do strength and hypertrophy training. Now, if your goal was to kind of target a bit more of the type 2 fibers, so fast twitch fibers, and you're trying to do it as fast as you can for, let's say, conditioning or just for speed and power, then by all means, then you have to do it as fast as you can. So that requires that from that goal. But that shouldn't limit you for the range of motion. Again, guys, I can't stress this enough. The range of motion should be the same, whether it's doing it as fast as you can or whether it's doing it for strict strength or hypertrophy. All right, guys, so there you have it. I hope you really enjoyed the video and the value that I provided for you guys today. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to have some notification for every time I post a video on a weekly basis. And I'll see you guys in the next video.